Hi, I'm Jerry Higgs. This is my wife, Rosemary Higgs. We're from northern Georgia, a place called Chickamauga. Uh, we come down here, we try to come down here every winter. We've been doing this. This is our second winter in Roma. We're volunteers. We volunteer to the town of Roma, Texas, in the birding center. The birding center has been here for a long time, but only ran by the town for about 5-6 years after the Fish and Wildlife Department cut the funding and the town decided to continue the birding center. So what we do every day is for 3 months is we come and we feed the birds in the morning and then sit in the visitor center and welcome guests. The town has set up a little history museum and we point people toward the history museum and also direct them to the better birding sites in the northern part of the Rio Grande Valley. I'd like to draw your attention to this little courtyard, which was built. It was rebuilt by the Fish and Wildlife Department, and I want you to note all the beautiful trees and the birds. And it was designed to be a butterfly garden, but birds seem to like it more than the butterflies, especially in the wintertime here. We have green jays, kiskadees, orange-crowned warblers, millions of sparrows, and all sorts of things like this. And everybody's welcome. The cool thing here is we get to live in a culture that is not normal for us. Spanish is the primary language spoken here. The people are great. They treat us really well. They treat us like guests, all the people. I want people to know that it's safe here. The Border Patrol is right on the border and patrols it regularly, and we have had zero trouble in 3 years. And I want people to know that it's a great place to come and visit, and everybody's welcomed. And I hope that it doesn't change with things that are going on down here with the politics and stuff. What else? I'd like to talk a little bit about this town's history. This town was founded in 1765. A lot of things have happened since then. We have a beautiful church that sits at the head of the town square, and a father, the Obliques, some of the Catholic orders, came here very, very early on and built a church here, and then a tower, and the church tower, and then they remodeled it, I think, in the 70s or 60s, and had to bring the tower down because the bell tower was too high. And I hope that we get some pictures of that church.
They put the tower back up, but shorter than it was before.
Yeah, I heard that's the original tower, yeah?
It is the original, but it's a little bit lower.
Can you talk, do you remember about the father that...
Father Carolum was the original oblique priest that was here, circuit rider priest, so he was in charge of several different parishes throughout the valley, and he helped build a lot of the churches through the Rio Grande Valley. He was also known as the lost priest because he went out, he wasn't feeling well when he went out, and he got caught in a storm, lost his way, and about 80 years later, some ranch hands chasing down their cattle found his bones, and they identified him by his crucifix.
Yeah.
So he is known as the lost priest.
He is dearly loved in this community.
Yeah.
He really did a lot of good things here. So when you leave here, look on your left on the coffee shop, and you will see a bunch of gentlemen that are dressed in Western garb. Those are the circuit riders for the priests that risked their lives here. This was not a friendly place to be. Between the banditos and the Indians, this was a hard place to settle. That's the reason why the Spanish didn't come really very far north of the Rio Grande, was because the Indians were fierce and the banditos filled the power gap in here. So the people really had a hard time here. This is a harsh land, and the people really, to this day, have a hard time making a living here. There's really not any industry here to speak of. If you look, you'll see that the school looks like about to be about the largest employer. If you look around here, you'll see that most of the town workers, really, the pay scale, I think it's only about $30,000 is the mean income here. So the people are poor, but very proud. And if you look at the houses around here, you will see that they really, really work hard to fix up their houses. That's something that people need to know of, that these people are resourceful. We have 2 workers that work in this garden. One of them is if you look over there, the one in the blue jacket, his name is, I can't
O.L.
O.L., and he speaks a little bit of English. And then we have Juan in the back here, and he speaks a little more English, but they are hard workers. Juan is 62 years old, and he can come out here, and that man can rake and do garden work like a man that's 20. He is absolutely incredible. And O.L., he can do anything with his hands. The man is an absolute wonder. So there is a lot of talent here, amazingly so. People need to come and see just how wonderful these people are. We go to restaurants around here, and when you come to a restaurant around here, overfed would be the word to describe what they do when you come to a restaurant here.
And they treat you like family.
They treat you like family, and people from the outside need to know that. Every Sunday they go to church, and it's church. It is a family day. They still follow that tradition that we used to have when I was a child, where Sunday was family day, and we would go to church, and then we'd have a big dinner, and then we'd all sit around. The family would all sit around and talk. Well, they still do that here, which is really cool. And we watch. What's the thing with the women? With the young girls when they're 15.
The quinceañeras. Their 15th birthday, and we'll see them the girls put on their ball gowns, get their photographs made around here, and then they have a big party. So there are a lot of event centers here geared toward that, and they're just beautiful.
The main thing is we want people from the outside to see this is kind of like a little hidden gem. And we just basically want to be able to introduce people to this wonderful hidden gem.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much.